Hey there, podcast listeners. This is Reson Sindio, a practicing counseling psychologist. I am so excited to share with you my new podcast series called Mentally Speaking. Now, in this exciting and very interactive podcast series, I'll be holding conversations on matters to do with mental health. Now, I know and I appreciate that mental health can be a very heavy topic to talk about, and most of us actually shy away from talking about it or having discussions because it has its stigma and misconceptions attached to it. So this podcast will allow you as a podcast listener to hear great life lessons and diverse perceptions on matters again regarding mental health, hence mentally speaking. I also believe that there is something to be learned from everyone's life experience, and knowing that your journey can help someone, somewhere, somehow will create a sense of hope and help demystify the misconception often associated with matters to do with mental health. So today I will be having a very candid and interactive conversation with Dr. Bosco Kingati. I will give a brief introduction of who he is and what he does. Dr. Kingati is a family man born in Nairobi, Kenya. He holds a PhD in social transformation, sustainable development from Tangaza University College, Kwea. He is also a linguist, counseling psychologist, and a psychologist, having done his studies in Kenyatta University, University of Nairobi, and University of Ireland, Cork. Dr. Kingatia has also worked with Tangaza University College since 2012 and continues to lecture there. He is also the founding director of Afro-Heritage Consultancy, an organization focusing on language and culture, research, youth transformational life skills, transitional life skills, and career guidance. Dr. Kingati has over 30 years, so you can imagine 30 years, some of you are even not yet 30 years, experience working with organizations, groups, and individuals in the area of language training and counseling psychology. He has facilitated numerous workshops on human growth and societal development. He is also the author of a very informative and insightful book titled The World of Widows. Welcome, Dr. Bosco. I hope you don't mind me calling you Dr. Bosco.
Thank you, no problem.
It's always a pleasure talking to you. I have a feeling that I'll leave here very informed, very challenged, and also greatly motivated. I hope it will be the same for the podcast listeners. Karibu sana, Dr. Bosco.
Asante.
Yeah. Now, I will begin with putting things into perspective with facts and figures. The Constitution of Kenya 2010, in Article 43, 1A, provides that, in quotes, every person has the right to the highest attainable standard of health, which includes the right to health care services, and this essentially includes mental health. We also find, according to the Kenya Mental Health Policy 2015-2030, mental disorders cases in Kenya continue to rise rapidly. Government data indicates that at least 1 in every 4 Kenyans suffers from a mental illness at one point in their lives. So with that information and that background, data and statistics, what would you say about what you have just heard, Dr. Bosco, regarding, first of all, the Constitution of Kenya, and also with the Kenya Mental Health Policy?
Welcome, all you listeners. The aspect of mental health and the statistics that we are hearing worry, but I would say it's more of a concern. From the policymakers, there appears to be very clear willpower and wish, but matters on the ground are a little different. Because when we talk about availability of highest health issues for everyone, in reality we don't see that happening in our hospitals.
Exactly.
And especially with this, with the coming in of the COVID-19, the cases have really shown that our mental health and our health system in general needs a lot of upgrading and a lot of concern. People need to look at health as a basic requirement, as a basic necessity for human living, and not only as a source of making wealth. So that's what I would say at the moment. That it's a wake-up call, and I think such talks and engagements are important at this moment. So that we start putting our country and our individuals, ourselves, on the right platform towards addressing issues of health.
Thank you very much for that insightful feedback, Dr. Bosco. Now, I would want to find out from you, what is your understanding of mental health? Very basic definition.
I would like to look at mental health from three perspectives. Number one, wellness. Number two, productivity. And number three, maximization of one's inner capacities. Wellness is one well. Can one use the adjective I am well, meaning I am healthy, not just the greeting, how are you, I am well. But can one really sit back and say, I feel that integrally I am well? Then the next question is, am I productive? In whatever age I am, if I am a student, am I productive? If I am a parent, am I productive? At my place of work, at my family, am I productive? If I am not productive, then there's a question about mental health. And then number three, am I able to maximize my inner capacities? My age, my physical strength, my experiences, my competencies, the competencies that I have acquired, am I able to utilize them to generate wealth? And by wealth, I don't only mean riches, but I mean things that improve human performance in general.
So human well-being.
Yes. So I'll look at it in those three words: wellness, productivity, and maximization of the inner capacities.
Thank you so much. Can those three things correlate with feelings, with thoughts, and with behavior?
Yes, that comes in a little down. Because when we are looking at it now from a psychological perspective, then psychology will look at mental health from the perspective of affectivity, from the perspective of thought and thought processes, and then behavior, which also is linked to character.
All right. Thank you so much, Dr. Bosco. Now, there's another question. This other question is very important because a lot of people confuse the difference between mental health and mental illness. I find that there is a misconception that they are one and the same. How can you differentiate to the layman what is mental illness and what is mental health?
So as mentioned earlier, mental health is integral. It's a basic level from which somebody needs to grow. Mental illness, on the other hand, is a situation where one is under the platform, the required platform of operation. How would I look at it from those three words again? If somebody is unwell, for example, a person has a physical ailment, then that is clear. That's a clear indication that one is ill.
Okay, so if somebody is unwell physically, let's
Yes.
say I have a headache.
Correct.
Okay.
I have a headache. I broke my leg. I broke my arm, God forbid.
Yes.
Then I am not well. I am ill.
Yes.
One could have other more complicated conditions. People are living with diabetes. People are living with high blood pressure and other similar conditions. This is a situation where we might not physically see, but the person can feel from the inside that I'm not okay.
Yes.
I want to wake up and get a glass of water, but I'm not in a position to. I'm feeling dizzy. I don't appear to have the right energies. I'm feeling hyper fatigued, like for the cases of COVID-19 now, and all that. That's also illness, and that's all. That's all at the level of the physical.
Okay.
Now, what about at the level of the mental?
Okay.
What are some of the indicators, for example, of stress? Fine, it may be just a basic headache, but it may be more than that. It may be non-coherency of thought. I normally, when I am faced with this kind of situation, I am able to deal with it pretty fast. But now, in the last 2-3 days, I realize no, I am not able to deal with it. When I was faced with this kind of a challenge earlier on during the day, in the night, at night I was able to sleep. And now I can't sleep.
Okay.
So again, when I felt fatigued and I had a meal in the night, the digestion was going on well. But now I wake up in the morning, all of a sudden there is a constipation. I have a diarrhea, but I have not changed my diet. All these things are indicators of mental illness. So in a nutshell, I am not able to resolve the issues the way I have done previously.
Okay.
I am not able to be as productive as I have previously done. I have not been able to maximize my inner capacities the way I have been able to. So in short, there is a change in the way I am doing my things.
Okay.
That is a great indicator of mental illness.
Okay.
Yes.
So mental illness is not necessarily looking at it from the perspective or point of view of, they're mad. These connotations that are attached to mental illness. They're mad, ameruka kichwa, kuna wazimu. Okay, we can also go to the other side of depression, bipolar, schizophrenia. Aren't these also mental illnesses?
I want, because for the sake of the listener, I desist from jumping into naming.
Okay.
Because I know we just see a person is stressed at home and we quickly go into Google and we read a few things and immediately, this person is bipolar. This person has depression. We're very quick at naming
and labeling.
Yes, and labeling. And I think we have the right people. We can only suspect. But we need to let the professionals
thank you. That's what I was
do the evaluation and come into a conclusive result that says based on this. And I think we are now entering into the realm of clinical psychologists and we're entering into the realm of psychiatrists. So let the professionals do that, because the mental capacities are very delicate. So let's be cautious on labeling. But when you are not performing the way you have been previously, then, and there is no physical kind of condition that is explaining it, that's an indication that my mental capacity is ailing.
So your mental health, you're experiencing challenges with your mental health.
Correct.
But you are not mentally ill.
I am experiencing challenges, but when that condition surpasses
Yes.
an area where I feel I am in control,
Yes.
then it is mental illness.
When you feel you're out of control.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah, because
All right.
I am tired.
Okay.
I go to sleep.
Okay.
The following morning I'm okay.
Okay. Okay.
I am stressed because of an activity at work.
Yes.
I relax, I go for a swim and everything.
Yeah.
And the following morning I wake up and I'm healthy.
Okay.
But then now,
Yeah.
2-3 days,
Yeah.
I am not, my body is not coming back to its normal operations.
Okay.
1 week.
Yes.
That's illness.
Okay.
Yes.
So basically, it interferes with your activities of daily living.
It
so you're
does.
no longer productive.
Yes.
You're no longer your wellness.
Yes.
The three things that
Yes,
you mentioned.
you're no longer well,
Mhm.
you're no longer productive,
Mhm.
and you're not maximizing
Your
your
potential.
inner capacities.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
Now, how have you been dealing, you as Dr. Bosco, with the onset and continued COVID pandemic and all the challenges that it has brought? How has it affected your mental health? Or what coping skills are you using?
Okay. Number one,
Yeah.
it's a reality
Yeah.
that COVID-19 is with us.
Yeah.
We have a big advantage of having the mainstream media and the social media.
Yes.
We are at a phase where we need to differentiate and critically listen and see what is true and what is propaganda.
Okay. Okay.
So there is a lot of they are in line with the COVID-19. There is an aspect of politics. There's an aspect of economics. And when these two things, especially the aspect of politics, comes into an issue on health, which of course we can't avoid, then it complicates the understanding of the normal person.
Okay.
Because then information can easily be tilted and skewed towards a particular intent.
Okay.
So I am. You've asked how am
How
I
are
dealing
you
with
dealing
it?
with it? Yeah.
Number one, I'm very critical on anything I hear and anything I read.
Okay.
Naturally, I am quite slow in taking up things. I'm not very fast at doing them. Because I think with my age, with my experience, I just need to be a little cautious. Because any step that I take, I have a multitude of people who then jump into the wagon and say, he has done it, so why not me? So I am very cautious. I am a family man. I am head of the family. I am seeing clients on a day-to-day basis.
Different roles in life.
Yes, and they are asking that question. What are you doing with this? What are you doing with this? What are you doing with this? So I am ensuring that my awareness and the information that I'm getting is critically analyzed, and I verify whatever details that I get. That's number one.
Okay.
Number two, the basic things that we are being told. COVID is there. Safe distance. Wear the mask. And wash your hands. And these are positives. Keeping safe distance does not only protect me from getting COVID, but if I have a flu, I won't transmit it to the other person. So that's by itself okay. And from a sociological perspective, when people have safe distance, people feel more secure and they are able to even think better and be more productive than when people are crowded. So it all has all these benefits. Then washing of hands. I mean, where all this diarrhea has gone down, dysentery, all these issues that are linked to cleanliness, they've gone down. So isn't that an advantage? So what am I doing? First, I am following the protocols. Number two, I am aware of what is happening. Number three, positive self-talk. Positive self-talk. Yes, there are all these things about everybody dying. I know I've used the word everybody loosely. But let's be aware of the media. Let's be aware that media the first sentence of any media presentation is sensational. They appeal to our emotions. So let's calm down.
Okay.
Allow the emotions to calm down, and then just be aware, what is this saying? If it's at 16%, then it's saying in every 100 people that are around me, 16 could easily be infected. So I just need to be aware. So how many people do I necessarily need to come too close to? Apart from probably my children, my spouse, and things like that. If it's my client, let's keep the safe distance. If it's all the people that I interact with on a day-to-day basis, let me keep safe distance. Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Thank you so much. That's a lot of information, and it's very basic. It's really very basic. It's not, as it were, rocket science.
No, it's not.
You've talked about cleanliness.
Yes.
Wash hands, sanitize. You've talked about physical distance.
Yes.
You've talked about taking personal responsibility. Talked about healthcare. So when I look at this from the mental health perspective, from the mental health perspective in psychology, when we are talking about feelings, we are talking about thoughts, we are talking about emotions, which eventually determine our behavior. How have you, as a counseling psychologist and a sociologist, protected your mental health from the psychological perspective? Yeah.
All right. Again, let's look at psychology from those three platforms, where we have the affectivity, we have the thoughts, and then we have the behavior. We can, depending on which school of thought the counseling background is on, one can start from wherever. But just allow me to start from the aspect of the thoughts. The ideas. What ideas come into my mind? It's clear that almost 90% of the ideas that keep popping into our minds are generally negative. And that's based on that. That's why COVID-19 is a big, issue. That's why when there's a wedding convoy passing by, hardly will people stick their necks out of the window to see. But if there is a siren with the coffin, then everybody wants to see. And people will attend funerals while very few people will attend weddings. The thought processes. We tilt. The human person tends to tilt towards the negative. Understandingly so, because of the threat to life, the threat to survival. So what are our thought processes? As Bosco, what are my thought processes? Do I get the negative thoughts, yes? Do I nurture them so that they grow and keep overriding every positive thought that's there?
So you protect the thoughts that go into your head. You protect what you think.
Yes.
Because you're aware that what you think will influence how you feel and how you behave, and your emotions as well.
Correct.
Correct.
So I make sure for every negative thought that comes into my mind, I am very cautious that I have this negative thought. I write it down to ensure that now I challenge it to see its viability. Is it just something that is up in the sky, or is it something real? If it's real, what can I do about it? If there's nothing I can do about it, then it means I need to think of how to challenge it. As I challenge it, I come up with another positive thought that counters it. And at the end of the list, I make sure I try my level best to ensure that the positive arm is a little higher or heavier than the negative one. That's how I deal with the thoughts. Now, that influences the way I feel. How am I aware of the way I feel? Number one, all feelings have a grade. Let's take anger, for example. Anger starts with a feeling of boredom. Then it moves into a feeling of irritability. Then it moves into anger. And then it moves into fury. If I try to address it at the level of anger, I already have lost my cool up to 50%. If I address it at the level of boredom, I have 75% control of myself.
I think that is, it's very clinical.
Yes.
What you're saying.
Yes.
But I'm looking at it from the point of view that not many people have this knowledge that you have.
Yes.
Not many people have the time to reflect and write down, where am I angry?
Yes.
Where am I sad?
Yes.
So how would you put it to the podcast listeners that they can have the tips that they can use on a daily basis and as fast without really going into detail, because not many people will catch or try to understand or even have time
Yes.
to reflect and analyze all that you have said, even if it's important and it plays a major role in our everyday lives. Yeah.
I'll mention something that that I like doing, especially when I am when that aspect comes in, when a trigger comes in almost instantly. Number one. The heart rate is a fast indicator. The moment the heart rate changes, and one can feel it, then there's a caution. Number two, often the raising of voice and the increase in the speed at which I am trying to communicate, that's also another indicator. Then for some, there's an aspect of one starts stammering. That means the thought processes are not following the right order. So those one needs to be very much aware of what are the indicators that show that I am getting emotionally affected by a particular thing. So those are what are on to me. Heart rate, a mild headache, or raising of the voice, and the issue about non-coherence in terms of the way the thoughts are coming in. As soon as that happens, then I immediately tell myself, get out of the situation. Keep quiet. Don't talk. Just remain quiet. Something is going wrong. Because if I don't do that, then I lose it. And
you lose control.
Going back into my experiences, when I've lost control, nothing has haven't gained anything.
And so, you haven't resolved it.
Yes. So I am very quick to be aware of what are the initial indicators of losing my cool.
I think also during thank you so much for sharing that. I think also during this time of COVID pandemic, people are experiencing a lot of anger. People are experiencing stress, anxiety, fear, hopelessness. All these are mental health issues and challenges that we are all struggling with. And I'm wondering what is the indicator that I'm feeling very anxious. Yes, some people who are aware will come and actually, as a counseling psychologist, they'll come and tell and for sessions, and they say, of late I've been very anxious. I've been having panic attacks. I am stressed the whole time. I'm angry. So they're able to identify the emotions, the feelings, the thoughts that they're going through. But for other people who, and especially we have this how would I call it, stereotyping of the African man. They're strong, they have it all together, they don't show emotion. What is your take on that? How would you let me just say, what is your take on that, also being an African man?
Allow me to address the listeners who are male. With all due respect. The man species, the male species, is very endangered. And a large percentage of the endangering is coming from within and from the socialization that we have grown up in. Not so far back, I was carrying out a research on widows. Why widows? I mean, widowers are very rare. One, it's very difficult for a man to live without a woman. Sorry to put it that way. You know, how many men, when their wives are away, they come in and put the key into the keyhole, and then they discover there's nobody in the house, and they just lock and go back into a pub, have some nyama choma or boiled meat, take a beer, and come home and sleep. But if the woman is there, the same scenario, a woman walks into her house and she sees the man is not there, she will open, she'll put on the lights, and she'll start her work. You know, so that's quite interesting in the way we look at life. Based on that, how many men go past the age of 60, 65? Compared to that of women. You go into any congregation and you look at the number of elderly women past the age of 65 and elderly men past the age of 65, you'll be shocked. Fine. There are all these stressors, which again have been on the male side and not very much on the female side. The issue about provision, financial provision in the family, security, all that have mainly been on the side of the man. But increasingly now, it's also on the side of the woman. But then now, coming to look at it, when women have issues, one, the woman is a very social being. From when girls are very small, they are very communitarian. They play games that are very communitarian. One holds a rope on one side, another one on the other side, and the third one jumps. You bring in a boy. The moment a boy comes in, he straightens the rope and makes sure the one who is jumping falls. That means that men are socialized and are very competitive from a very tender age. When you try to come into women groups, they go together and they will sit. A woman PS and a house help who is a lady. When you put men together, a man can never sit with his security guard. There's already competition. What shoe are you wearing? What vehicle do you drive? Which estate do you live in? How fat is your wallet? So there's a lot of competition. All these things are very dangerous to the mental health of the person. And then the man is a macho man all the time. Move and die with your head up high. Anytime you go to talk to any other person, then you are showing your weakness. And what is the ultimate? The ultimate is very quick deaths for men. Deaths that would have been avoided. Very severe suffering. They have some conditions that they really struggle with. So what I'm telling to my fellow men, if you want to live and enjoy your old age, kindly learn to share.
Okay. Thank you very much, Bosco, coming from a fellow African man to the other men tribe. Now, how can one identify that they are struggling with mental health issues? Again, from the psychological perspective.
Let me go back to what I mentioned. I am feeling unwell physiologically. Let's look at the general feeling of unwell from a physical perspective. I have a headache that is not going. I have even gone to check on my eyes, and they have checked, they've given me glasses. They are okay, but I'm still struggling with that headache. It's not ending. My digestion is not going on well. There are disturbances. Then fatigue. Then now coming onto the mental aspect, I am not able to solve situations the way I had been earlier on.
Okay.
My emotions are not really controlled.
Okay.
Yeah, so those are some of the indicators
that you're struggling.
Yes, the one is struggling.
Okay.
Yes.
I would also want to find out, once you know, let's say I have identified that I am having issues with my mental health. What is the next step that you would recommend for somebody who's going through anxiety, somebody who's going through stress, somebody who is experiencing constant fear, because we don't know whether tomorrow the government will put another countrywide lockdown. We don't know whether we'll all be told to go back and work from home. So there's a fear of finances, job loss. There are losses that we are going through, and loss just does not mean losing somebody. It means losing a loved one, losing a job, losing a relationship because of all the stresses that are happening right now in marriages, in homes, even losing let's say a kibanda that you had to sell your mutura, it's no longer there. Those are all losses, and we have to process all these losses that we are going through. What is the next step that that we can take to make sure that we are okay? What help is there?
I want to look at it from 3 perspectives. At the primary level, at the secondary level, and at the tertiary level. At the primary level, take time away from the multitude, take time away from the routine, take time away from the normal day-to-day operations. And that taking time away also means being in a conducive environment. Then have a bit of soul searching. What am I going through? What are the challenges that are there? If you can, write them down so that they can, anything that's visual tends to be a little clearer, and then it tends to allow one to focus. So that's very important at the primary level. So what you're saying is identify your thoughts, identify your feelings, identify your emotions. Good. By creating a conducive environment and a time deliberately set aside to do that. That's very important. That's at the primary level. At the secondary level, I would call it the level of the friends. Men are not very kind to fellow men. Women tend to be a little kind, compassionate to fellow women. And when a woman comes crying, the other women will not look at her as a fool. They will look at her as a victim. As weak. Yes. They won't look at her like she's weak. Yes. She's, we don't need that kind of, we don't want to see feelings and emotions. Correct. They will be willing to listen. Yes. Men are not very kind to fellow men. And so you may find that sometimes men would need to go to a woman or to a lady who will be more willing to listen. But isn't that showing their weakness and vulnerability? Who are these women that they are going to? Caution. One, it's important for us to accept that we are vulnerable. Refusing to accept that we are vulnerable is actually committing a sin against the first commandment. We think we are gods. We aren't. We are very mortal beings. And the rate at which men are going down and people are going down is only a clear indicator that we are very weak beings. When we seek help, then we are much stronger because then we are aware of our weaknesses. Who are they seeking help from? Now I want to put a caveat on that. Number one, if that happens to be the spouse, and the spouse is a good listener, that's the ideal situation. The ultimate ideal. If one can go back to their own mother, mothers also tend to be pretty good at that, even when they are quite advanced in age, or an elderly person from the family. Now, again, if one is going to a person of their age, attention, if such a relationship goes sexual, then it is very counterproductive. It is very counterproductive. So we are looking for a support system which involves somebody that you feel safe with.
somebody that you feel you feel that you can be vulnerable with.
Correct.
And an environment that is also non-judgmental.
Very, very important. Now you put it in the exact words of our counseling psychologist.
Yeah.
And please be aware
Yeah.
that this is a person who can really observe confidentiality.
Yes.
Because what you're going to share
Yeah.
is actually one's nakedness.
Yes.
So it must be clear that this is a person who is not going to again go out and share with other people.
Okay.
So that is at the secondary level.
Yes.
At the tertiary level,
Yeah.
we have counseling psychologists.
Yes.
This is a professional.
Yes.
The relationship that you have is professional.
Yes, yes,
All
yes.
these parameters that we are looking at
Yes.
are already in place.
Yes, yes.
You know, and you may never see this counselor again.
Yes.
If you
yes.
come into my place and we meet once, and you're
Yes.
coming all the way from Nairobi West,
Yes.
or from Karen, or from wherever,
Yes.
chances of you and I meeting again
Yes.
are very slim.
True. And
Yeah.
also might I add that even as a professional,
Yes.
trained,
Yes.
educated counseling psychologist,
Yes.
there are measures that you put in place such that even if I meet you
Yes.
at a mall, let's say, as a former client, it is not for me to come and sort you out. If you do come and say hello,
Yes.
I will acknowledge, but I will not introduce you that, oh, by the way, this is Bosco. This is my former client.
Yes.
Who had issues, you know? So we have that ethical guidance.
Yes.
That informs the way we deal not only with the clients within the counseling setup,
Yes.
but even outside, externally.
And I want even to add on to that. Thanks for that.
Yeah.
With the 30 years experience that I've had in counseling,
Yeah.
I struggle even to remember
Yes.
what the client issues were
Yes.
before the next session.
Yes.
I need to put mechanisms to allow me to remember, because you've come in with your issue.
True.
After you walk out, another
Yes.
person comes in.
True.
And
True.
I am still
Yes.
a normal human being
Yes.
who has my own issues.
Yes.
Surely.
Yeah.
I am not going to spend the entire day
True.
thinking about what you are going through.
Not at all. Not at all.
Then that is an immediate sign of burnout.
Exactly.
And we too, when we find ourselves, when I find that I'm not able to let go a particular issue that a client has shared,
Yeah.
I immediately go for therapy, because it is a danger sign on my part.
Exactly.
So when we meet in the mall,
Yes.
I'll be seeing you as a connaissance,
Yes.
a person that I have met,
Yes.
and you don't be surprised if I'm struggling to remember your name.
Exactly.
But I'll say, hi, you're
Yeah.
moving on well?
Yeah.
Fine, thank you. And
Yes.
that's it.
So
Our
you're
conversation ends
seeing
at that.
this person as, let's say, Rason, but
Correct.
you're not seeing Rason who came because she was beaten or she was chased, or you're seeing the person, not
Yes.
the problem.
This is a
Because
phase that I know.
Yes, okay.
So let me just say hello,
Okay.
to be amicable.
So
I will leave it at that.
So what you're actually assuring our podcast listeners is that when you come for sessions,
Yes.
you are a professional counseling psychologist.
Yes.
Please keep in mind professional, because in every other what do we call it?
Faith-based
Yes.
center or faith-based center or
In
at a
every other
physical health
profession,
center,
we
you are
have
seeing
quotes.
counseling services.
Exactly, exactly.
Yeah.
That they are coming to a place that is safe, a place that confidentiality is assured, a place that is non-judgmental, and a place that is totally focused for their mental well-being.
Correct.
Thank you.
Correct.
Thank you.
Correct.
I
Yes,
think it's
yes.
very important for our listeners to know that.
Yes.
Now, as we start winding up, I want to find out from you, what misconceptions would you like to share that will help remove the stigma associated with mental health issues that you've had and would like to demystify?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I just want to go back to a word that you mentioned.
Yeah.
huyu ni mwenda, huyu ni
Yes.
cheesy.
Yes.
You know?
Yes.
And mental health, anybody who had mental challenges,
Yeah.
not even serious mental health,
Yeah.
this has often been linked into the metaphysical world,
Yeah.
into the spiritual world.
Yeah.
So he is bewitched.
Yeah.
So it is not anything that we have control over,
yeah.
but rather
Yeah.
it is in the realm of the spirits.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that has been a surrender of the human species of saying that we can deal with this. So it is a clear show that we can't deal with this. It is in the spiritual world. Now, and sorry to put it, but
Yeah.
there are leaders in
Yeah.
faith-based institutions
Yeah.
who have highly capitalized on
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
A person comes
True.
in because they are not getting a job,
Yeah.
and 70%
Yeah.
of the youth
Yeah.
are not getting jobs in this country because there are no jobs.
Yeah.
Then you spiritualize it,
Yes.
and you go to a person to pray over you on that matter.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or there are challenges in a marriage,
Yeah.
which is coming from two people who are different.
Yes.
And instead of addressing the issues, then they go to be prayed over the matter.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
I think that spiritualizing is one of the stereotypes that I would like to deal with.
Okay.
That mental health
Yeah.
is not in the metaphysical world.
Okay.
It
And
is in the
metaphysical world, you
means
mean
above
break it
the
down?
physical.
Okay.
Yes, it is the everyday issues that we come across.
Okay. So that the everyday challenges
Yes.
that we experience as functional human beings.
Correct.
Okay.
And we can't run away from them.
All
So
right.
mental health is not up there.
Okay. It is not an enigma.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Okay.
Yeah, and it's not something that is out there we can't reach.
Okay.
It is something that is reachable.
Okay.
Now, and with the present science, it is reachable.
Okay.
So that's one of the stereotypes that I would like to work on, people to work on. Then the other one is on the issue of gender.
Okay.
Again, we mentioned it earlier. Men are strong, women are weak. From a psychological perspective, indeed, it's the opposite.
Opposite. True. Yeah.
Women are much stronger
Yeah.
than men
Yeah.
psychologically.
Yeah.
Men are much stronger
Yeah.
physically.
Yes.
But once men start reaching the age of 40, 45, 50, and their physical strength is going down.
And this is what defines them, their
Correct.
ego, their presence.
Yes, and
Yeah.
they no more have those big offices that they used to have in government offices.
Yeah,
They lose
the
it
true
all.
trappings of life.
Yes, the children
Yeah.
that they were controlling are no more in the house.
Yeah.
They are big men and women.
Yeah.
So they feel that they've lost it, and this crushes a lot of men.
Okay.
And based on that, I would really would like to address the aspect of men need to seek help
Yes.
if they want to live long enough to enjoy their hard work.
Okay.
So that's essential.
All right.
Uh-huh.
And by seeking help again, Bosco,
Yes.
Dr. Bosco, you're talking about identifying somebody, a
Yes.
support system
Correct.
that will be there for you unconditionally.
Yes.
Keep confidentiality.
Yes.
And make you feel safe.
Yes.
And where you can be vulnerable.
Yeah.
So it is for you to identify that social
very
support
key.
system.
Yeah.
If you don't have it, the next step is to seek professional help from a counseling psychologist. Okay.
Remember, we put it at 3 levels.
3 levels.
The first one is the primary.
Yes.
You can do it by yourself.
Yes.
But that's very good as a first line.
Yeah.
And the second line, do you have a friend?
Social support system.
Yes,
a
that you
support
can-
system.
Yes.
Yes.
And number 3,
Yes.
then have you identified
Yes.
a counseling psychologist or
Yes.
a professional that you can go to?
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, Dr. Bosco.
Yes.
Now, your final words on matters to do with mental health,
Yes.
because right now, right here,
Yes.
we are mentally speaking.
Correct.
Yes.
Yes. So once again,
Yes.
first is to thank everyone who has followed us, who
Yes.
have been listening.
Yes.
And for the organizer, Reson,
Yeah.
congrats. That's a good step.
Thank you.
Let people demystify the aspect of mental health
Yeah.
by constantly talking about it.
Okay.
Number two, for all the listeners, kindly be aware of your mental state as much as you are aware of the physical state.
Exactly.
Remember, the mental controls the physical. It is not the physical that controls the mental.
True.
So be aware
Yeah.
that if you are mentally ill,
Yes.
if you are mentally unwell,
Yeah.
then the physical follows suit very quickly. So
Okay.
be aware of that and invest as much
Yes.
into it
Yeah.
as you would, if
The
not
physical.
more.
Yes.
You know,
Yes.
onto the physical.
Yeah.
So those are the ones that I will talk to.
Yeah.
Then number three,
Yeah.
we are there for you.
Yes.
We are not out there looking for wealth from you. No, I think we have surpassed the age of looking for wealth.
Yes.
You know, but we want to just, my desire is to leave a positive mark
Yes.
to all those that I interact with,
Yes.
and all those that I come face to face with.
Yes.
And by virtue of my faith,
Yes.
I try my level best even to pray for them every morning.
Okay.
But when you come and we meet face to face, it's about you, and it's about what is going to be best for you, not for me.
Okay.
Yeah.
So basically what you've said, Dr. Bosco, if the client comes to you, you are focusing on their well-being.
Correct.
You are not going to tell them how to live their lives.
No.
You will look for the skills and tools
Yes.
within them, bring them out, and help them use them in a way that they'll be able to make better and informed choices.
Correct. Human beings have untapped competencies.
Exactly.
You know, untapped competencies, and it's only very sad that many of them die without ever discovering those untapped competencies.
Even the eyes tip.
Yes,
that is so true.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Dr. Bosco.
Most welcome, most welcome.
I have really enjoyed the talk. I'm sure our listeners have as well.
Yes.
And as I said in the beginning, whenever I interact with you, I leave feeling motivated.
Thank you.
I leave feeling informed.
Thank you.
And also I get a feeling of I'm on the right track. I'm on the right track. What I'm doing is worthy.
Yes.
And one thing I like about you as well is you're very passion oriented. Whatever you do it with passion.
Thank you.
And as you said, we've passed the age of looking for to enrich ourselves from what we do. It is more of an internal satisfaction that you've been able to make a difference in somebody's life. And ultimately, really, isn't that what life is all about?
That's it.
Yeah,
That's
because
it.
the money,
Yeah.
the material things come and go. But that feeling of, I saw that client's face today, and where they are in their lives right now is just so satisfying.
Correct.
So thank you very much.
Most
I am
welcome.
very, very humbled to have had you.
Thank you.
Thank you for accepting the invitation. I know we'll be hearing a lot from you in the future.
Most
so
welcome.
whenever I call you, just speak up.
Thank you. And we trust that we'll also get the time to do so.
Yes.
Thank you.
Exactly.
Thank you. All right. And wish all the listeners a blessed day.
Yes.
Have a wonderful day and kindly maximize all your internal potentials.
Thank you very much.
Most welcome.
So as we conclude, I will again refer to facts and figures.
Yes.
And something that I will just share is that according to the Mental Health Policy 2020, it states that to the Kenya Mental Health Policy, by the way, Kenya, it states that mental health services are widely underfunded, especially in developing countries. Kenya is among the 28% of World Health Organization member state countries that do not have a separate budget for mental health. Now, this has been a major impediment against development of quality mental health services in our country. In this regard, we have found that there should be equitable resources, and allocation set aside for mental health services at all levels, just as Dr. Bosco had mentioned in the very beginning. So I leave you podcast listeners with a challenge. Make your mental health a priority. Just as you strive to look your best on the outside, ensure that you feel your best on the inside. Make this a personal undertaking. And also remember that in the course of a lifetime, not all people will experience mental illness, but everyone will struggle or have challenges with their mental health well-being. I am Reson Sindio, a counseling psychologist, and you've been listening to my podcast, Mentally Speaking, conversations which do with mental health. You can also follow us on Instagram, Twitter, or Facebook, and please don't forget to rate and review and also subscribe to our channel, which you can find on the Anchor platform under Spotify. So until next time, looking forward to being with you. Have a lovely, lovely day, and thank you for listening.